Hello everyone, as you saw in the title today, we're going to be talking about how Transformers isn't the same anymore. Yes, I know it's supposed to be a remake of the 90s, but still, it just isn't good as the Bayverse. For example, all the Bayverse movies always connected, like they always had a connection, but now the new movies, they just don't have a connection. Like the stories don't really go together just as the Bayverse used to do. One major problem I have is they don't have Megatron or Barricade, which kind of pisses me off. They look a lot more different, and I know it's supposed to be the 90s, but still, it just doesn't match up with me. Because I grew up watching the Bayverse and stuff, but still, I don't care. And looking back, a lot of people didn't like Optimus Prime from the Bayverse because of how he was and stuff, and he wasn't the truck from the 90s. And I thought he was actually really good. He had a lot more face texture from the one from Rise of the Beast and stuff. 2007 had a lot more face texture than the new Rise of the Beast and stuff. And the other problem I have, which I already said, just the story doesn't match up. Like, all the other ones, like the Bayverse, they always matched up and stuff. And in the Bumblebee movie, he was just trying to get away from, two Decepticons who were tracking him down from the war and stuff. And yes, in the Bumblebee movie, it did tell a lot more about the war and stuff, and, Cybertron and stuff, which I did kind of like. But I was pretty shocked when I saw the new Mirage. I mean, I kind of think the new, Mirage was just too, I don't know, it just wasn't that cool. He's kind of cringy. The original Mirage was actually pretty underrated and stuff, and he was actually really kind of cool and actually more colder. And the original Bumblebee, he was actually really cool in the Bayverse, and he just wasn't that weird and stuff. He didn't look different. I hate how they kind of killed him off, but the movie in Rise of the Beast was pretty good, but I just didn't like how they killed him off the whole movie, and they just revived him at the end. But what I do like is how they gave Wheeljack more time and stuff, but they should have brought back Jazz and stuff, which would have been cool in the Rise of the Beast movie. But I wish they had an actual Barricade and Megatron. That would have been really cool and stuff. But that's why I don't like it, because they don't have Megatron or Starscream or Barricade. But I am kind of happy they brought back, Wheeljack and gave him more time instead of, the Dark Moon, how they just killed him off and that's it. And yes, I know, people say The Last of the Night wasn't, good of an ending, but I think it was a pretty good ending to the series. But they should have, done some other endings, in Dark of the Moon. They could have, actually made a different ending, where the humans and Autobots lived together in peace or whatever. But then again, we wouldn't have, 4, and 4 was pretty good, even though people say it sucked, which I thought was good, so I'm glad they didn't do that kind of ending. Also, I was kind of sad we didn't get to see Ironhide, because, it would have been cool if we had Ironhide back after what happened in 2011 to, in Dark of the Moon. But hopefully we can see Megatron and Barricade and all the other people that we didn't see and stuff. But it would be a good movie if they had all that other stuff and they kind of fixed it up and added to the storyline. But don't get me wrong, the Bumblebee movie was really good, but it just didn't add to the storyline. And especially a little bit scene in Bumblebee, where they run from the cops. Still, the reboot won't be as good and stuff as the Bayverse. I'm not trying to meet right or anything, but the Bayverse will always be my heart. And some people will say that the new Optimus Prime seems more like the Optimus Prime, but because he stays out of sight and he tries to stay away from the humans. But I do kind of agree, I guess. But then again, we're kind of forgetting about Transformers 4, which I kind of think is slept on. And he wasn't as interactive as he was, and he tried to stay out of sight. And all the other Autobots. The new villains aren't as good as the old ones. And yes, maybe all the villains from the Bayverse are pretty much the same, except from Transformers 4, which I guess was kind of Megatron still. And I just like how it's real and stuff, not animated kind of looking. And maybe Optimus Prime from the Bayverse might have had more brutal kills than the one from the reboot. But still, I like the one from Bayverse. I just loved how he had brutal kills, which probably didn't seem like an Optimus Prime, but still. But that's up for all y'all to decide. This is just my opinion. But I do like the character development, I guess, a little in, the new reboot. Transformers will just be, I don't know, just not that good as it used to be. Mostly because I don't like the face structure and the story isn't good. It doesn't really match up and other stuff. But I'm glad that they're still making Transformers and they're just not trying to, make it bad or anything, so I'm glad at least. But let me know which one's your favorite Transformers and which movie's your favorite. But mine personally has to be Bumblebee, but I'm not trying to be a Bumblebee meat writer, but my favorite movie has to be the first one. You can't go wrong with the first one. It's just really good. Because we get to see a lot of Transformers and a lot more good story and stuff. And in the Bayverse, I kind of liked how the story always matched up. But spoiler warning, who hasn't seen any of the Transformers or anything and doesn't want to get spoiled. In the first one, we kill Megatron, they do, and then in the second one, they talk about how they killed him and they put him in the ocean and how they revived him and all those stuff too. But if I haven't said this earlier, that doesn't mean I hate Transformers the new one, but I still don't just like it. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still, I do like them, but it's not good as it used to be, but still. But I do kind of like how they brought back the old retro, kind of like Optimus Prime, but still, it's not as good as the first one. I always like the look, but people say they didn't like it, but I do personally. And me personally, I love in Transformers 2, that scene where Optimus Prime comes in. But that's gonna be it for this video, so make sure to go over to the subscribe button and gangbang it. But see y'all later.